Hey guys, my name is Casey. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you for watching and I hope you subscribe at the end of the video. So I'm here with my friend Nat and we're going to be talking about her two different fish tanks. So one fish tank is a coral tank and this fish tank
is a seahorse tank. They're both saltwater.
Yes, so Nat, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a pre-vet student. I'm going to school in FIU. I'm part of the Pre-Vet Society, just like Casey. And I've just newly discovered this obsession of saltwater tanks. So I have a coral, so it has a bunch of fish that can coexist with coral seamlessly without any damages. And then we have a seahorse tank because seahorses can't exist with coral because they'll sting them and it may kill them. So we have this tank, and you gotta be very careful because seahorses tend to get very depressed in captivity. So you have to be kind of like a therapist to be able to know when they're depressed and when to keep them happy, because if not, they'll actually die of depression.
Yes, so that's a little bit about Nat and what the video is going to be about, but we'll also be talking about the maintenance of the tank as well. So keep watching.
This is the coral tank. That right there, that lovely little beauty there, is our angelfish. She's a coral beauty. Over here, you're going to see 6 actually, because we got a new one recently. Blue-green chromies. They're part of the damselfish family. Now you're gonna notice right here we got 2 clownfish. They're also from the damselfish family as well. Now we don't have the matching anemone that goes with this species of clownfish because it was harming the other fish in the tank. So we just keep them happy while adding other types of damselfish, so that way they have some type of community going on. And then right here is our little Blenny. He's in his little office right now. He likes to just chill in there all day long. As soon as the night lights come on, he goes right over to his home right here. So this is his house, and this is his office. Guys, so we have the spotted mandarin. He's hiding in his little favorite corner right there right now. But fun fact, he's part of the goby family. He's really pretty actually. He looks like a spotted leopard. That right there is one of our hawkfish. They like to hunt crustaceans. Yeah, they're not compatible with shrimp and crustaceans because they'll eat them. Right there. So that right there inside the boat, that's the fox face. Now, you don't want to touch him because the tips of his fins are poisonous. So if he gets you, your hand's gonna be numb for a while. He likes to hide.
He's very shy.
Yeah.
And they eat seaweed.
So I put seaweed for the fox face and for the crabs. He is an herbivore, so he's a vegetarian. So he's gonna eat. I give him seaweed. I give him the natural garlic extract. It seems to make him happy.
And the snails and crabs eat it as well.
Yeah,
correct?
The snails and crabs do nip at it as well.
Cool. So that's it for the coral tank. We're gonna move on to the seahorse tank. So who's in here?
Alright, so right here, the really big guy, he's about a little bit more than 6 inches long. We call him Dinosaur. And then this one right here, he's a new guy to our tank. I actually haven't named him yet. He hasn't changed color at all, but his buddy that came with him right here, right at the end, you see those yellow spikes? When we first got him, he was all completely black, so his color's changing. And seahorses, they do tend to do that. Their colors change based off of their stress levels and their temperament. Fun fact, orange seahorses are extremely rare, and we have one, and we got it by total accident. We named him Ginger. This is the jumbo myces shrimp. This is what we use to feed the seahorses. So it's frozen, so what we have to do is we have to defrost it. So what I do is I get water from the tank. You don't want to get the water from anywhere else because you don't want to contaminate your tank. Get a little bit there. I do also add Vitachem, about 8 drops according to the parameters of my tank. You can get those. You can get that dosage from the back of the bottle and you can calculate it yourself. And then once it defrosts and it's ready to feed, I pour it in.
Yeah, just pour it in like a straight line.
Awesome.
pour it all in. So this is a Coral Reef tank. We give them a diet of brine. We're also trying this new one where it's a mixture of krill, myces, brine, mussels, squid, algae, and huffa. Don't know what huffa is. But it doesn't seem like there's enough food in these pieces, so I mixed them with the food that we usually always give them. We prefer hikari because I feel like it doesn't make the water as cloudy when I'm pouring it in there. And there's really no odor. They don't need to eat as much as a seahorse tank. In fact, it's not recommended to feed your reef tank too much because it's going to cause a spike in ammonia and nitrates, which are really bad for your tank. So you don't want to overfeed your fish either. So we have a sand shifting star, and we have a lot of these snails and bottom feeders that we have that'll clean the sands and any excess food around the tank. So this is a green star polyp. This is a small version of that, which they can get pretty big and take over the whole rock. These are leather corals, which this one's a Kenya tree. This is a stony coral, and up there, if you can see it well, the one with the green middle, those are polyps. About the gorgonians, they're really great to have with seahorses because if you notice, that seahorse just grabbed onto it. They like a lot of things to anchor to. Gorgonians are actually high maintenance and they're not recommended for beginners because if you see here, there's like a slime coating, and that slime coating weakens them. Not only do they use it to protect themselves, but sometimes they can't shed their own slime coating and green hair algae by themselves, so you need a really strong current. And sometimes I'll just grab these and I'll just kind of put it in front of the current because you don't want to brush them too hard either because you'll break their branches. I do a water change every week of 10 to 20%, so that it's like 2 5-gallon buckets where I change it once a week. So I would first siphon out the water, and then once I siphon out 2 buckets worth of water, I would put in salt water that I would get from a fish store. So that salt water, either they can treat that water that's half synthetic, or which they mix it at the store, or they get it directly from the beach. So once you do that, you also have to check your parameters, because it's not just about changing your water, but you have to check the alkalinity, the pH balance, the amount of ammonia or nitrites in your water. It's very important to keep on top of that. Most fish stores will test your water for free. Okay, so it's also important to have fans in your tank, which they run on a motor system. And these cause, you want current, you want movement in your water, not only to get oxygen all over the place, because if you don't have enough flow, you're gonna have dead spots in your tank. So at certain points at the bottom, there's not gonna be any oxygen, and your corals and your fish will die there. And you also want to create current to keep the water clean. You don't want buildup of algae or any bacteria, because that's just not good. But we actually really like this brand fan wave maker, which we can control it also on a loop. So when you're feeding the fish, you can turn off the fan, or if you'd like to, for example, change the lighting setting, the fan will also change with the lighting. So it's really cool. You can connect them on the same loop. So we also have a heater, which you see there. The heater is actually kind of small for the tank. We do need to upgrade, and we were going to purchase that soon. It's very important to keep a certain temperature for your corals and your fish. The problem is that corals like a colder temperature than fish. So it's really good to have from 75 to 80 degrees. So this green area, which usually most standard thermometers will tell you what's a safe temperature to keep your tank at. So this is called A and B C balance. So this basically levels out the calcium and the alkalinity in your tank. This should only be added once you already have an equilibrium level. Because if you start trying to correct the changes like the alkalinity or calcium in your tank and you overdose or underdose, you can really throw it off and kill a lot of your corals. They're really sensitive. So this, you should add it as a weekly supplement, but once your tank is already equaled out, and you have the right levels of alkalinity and calcium. The reason why corals need calcium is because they have a stony structure, like a skeleton, that they need. I also give my corals reefroids, where there's just actually, I think it's just plankton, and you find that in the ocean, and you just give it to your corals. The fish will actually enjoy it as well, because some corals are photosynthetic and others are carnivorous. So lighting is also a very important component with having a coral reef tank. It's actually very important that you have sufficient amount of lighting. So here you would set the time that you wanted to turn on and off, and it's under military time by the hour and the minute. And you can have sunrise, sunset, and you can even change the intensity of the lighting. You can actually make thunderstorms, lightning. I'm gonna point the control there, and you'll see the tank, how it changes lighting. So now I'm gonna do it to sunrise, and then I'm gonna do it to light, and now I'm gonna do a storm. So you can do that because it's also good to give fish their natural environment and corals to try to mimic nature as much as possible. Very delicate and they like low lighting. So most of the time, if the lighting's too high, then the gorgonians will produce a type of coating, a slime, that will protect them. But that's also going to destroy their own skin. So after some research, we decided to just do the hang over the back filter, which is your standard filter you'd like see a lot in freshwater tanks. So you just have a filter pad, which is kind of dirty. It's got to get cleaned.
Okay guys, well that's it for my video. I hope you learned a lot about coral fish tanks and seahorse fish tanks. Please like,
Comment and subscribe.
thanks for watching.